Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for visiting Rabbani Research. Our today's topic is corporate culture and we will talk on this subject. This presentation is based on the article 10 Things Your Corporate Culture Needs to Get Right by Donald Sull and Charles Sull. MIT Sloan Management Review, September 16, 2021. Knowing what elements of culture matter most to employees can help leaders foster engagements as they transition to a new reality that will include more remote and hybrid work. 4 million Americans quit their jobs, and this was the highest monthly number ever recorded. Employee retention is on the mind of every chief human resource officer or HR manager, but culture is on the minds of the employees that companies are trying to retain. Another study, nearly two-thirds of the employees listed corporate culture among the most important reasons they stay with their current employer or start looking for another job. Another study found culture is the single best predictor of employee satisfaction, ahead of compensation and work-life balance. A total of 1.4 million employee reviews were analyzed in this study, and 150 items were included, while picking up business jargons, idioms, acronyms, and slang. Now we will discuss the 10 elements of culture that matter most to the employees. Number 1 is employees feel respected. Respect stands head and shoulders above other cultures and their elements in terms of its importance. The strong and varied language employees use to describe disrespect suggests how deeply it affects them. Employees describe being demeaned and degraded, viewed as disposable cogs in a wheel or robot, or treated like children, second-class citizens, crap, garbage, dirt, trash, scum, idiots, or cattle. Respect varies from industry to industry. For a software house or management consulting firms, respect was not an issue. But for industries like restaurants or grocery stores, where less educated people are employed, people complained about respect. The supportive leaders. The most important predictor of a company's culture score is whether managers support their employees. Employees describe supportive leaders as helping them do their work, being responsive to requests, accommodating employees' individual needs, offering encouragement, and having their backs. Leaders, of course, influence all aspects of culture, but being a source of support for employees is especially critical and is the leadership trait most closely associated with a highly rated culture. Leaders live core values. When employees praise leaders who walk the talk or practice what they preach, in contrast, their positive assessment provides a big boost to a company's culture score. Employees don't expect leaders to live the core values, but they appreciate it when they do. Next is the toxic managers, toxic leadership. At the other end of the spectrum from supportive leaders who live the core values are managers whom employees described as horrible, poisonous, or toxic, among other extremely negative terms. Toxic leadership can take many forms, but employees who describe managers as toxic are also more likely to say They are abusive, disrespectful, non-inclusive, or unethical. Unethical behavior. This is a particularly dangerous form of toxic management. Integrity is the cornerstone of most organizations' official culture. Nearly two-thirds of all companies list integrity or ethics among their official core values. Pockets of unethical behavior, unfortunately, remain a reality in many organizations. A recent study of managers in brokerage firms found that nearly 10% of them had been involved in financial misconduct, and unethical managers increased the odds that their subordinates would cheat as well. Identifying toxic leaders, digging deeper to understand the context of their behavior, coaching them or removing them from leadership positions are tangible actions organizations can take to root out people who are undermining corporate culture and potentially exposing the company to reputational or legal risk. Compensation and benefits or benefits. When it comes to predicting a company's culture score, benefits are more than twice as important as compensation. Benefits are important for all employees, but which benefits matter most depend on an employee's job. Health insurance and benefits are a better predictor of culture rating for frontline workers, while retirement benefits plans and pensions matter more for white-collar employees. Research shows that compensation is at least as important as culture in retaining employees, particularly among young workers. Compensation matters, but it won't fix a broken culture. Next comes perks. The difference between perks and benefits are that perks is a reward kind of a thing. It does not include a compensation package and not a part of compensation package. It has a reward system that is given to the employee for either for good employees, quality employees, or quality work. Employees mention nearly 450 different types of perks in their reviews, ranging from arcades to Zumba classes. Employees don't necessarily expect perks, but they do appreciate them when they are offered. If a small percentage of employees mention perks, a company's culture score does not suffer much. When more workers talk about perks, in contrast, companies see a big jump in their culture rating. Organizing social events is a promising and relatively low cost way executives can reinforce corporate culture as employees return to the office. Learning and development. Nearly one-third of all employees mention opportunities for education or personal development in their reviews, making this the third most frequently discussed topic after management and compensation. Employees in Culture 500 companies are extremely positive about programs to match or reimburse college tuition and opportunities for exposure to senior executives, particularly early in their careers. The analysis also shows that learning and development benefits are relatively more important to white-collar workers than front-line employees. Job security and reorganizations. Job security. Managers don't typically think of job security as part of corporate culture. In our earlier study of how companies describe their core values, not one listed job security. Job insecurity, however, weighs heavily on employees' minds when they assess corporate culture. The larger the percentage of employees who talked about layoffs, outsourcing, or the possibility of getting fired, the lower the company ranked on culture. Reorganization. Virtually no one has any good things to say about reorganizations. The fewer people who mention reorganizations, the higher a company's culture score, the better. While you might associate the mention of reorganizations with layoffs and job instability, the data reveals that employee concerns on this issue speak to wider strategic issues for companies. When employees mention reorganizations, they are much more likely to also discuss the pace of organizational change as too fast, inconsistency in a strategy over time, and a lack of clarity about the company's evolving strategy. At the end, you can see the score, and respect is at the top with 17.9%. This is followed by supportive leaders 9.4%, followed by job security 8.5%, and this follows by leaders live core value 7.3%, then benefits 6.1%, then toxic managers and perks 5.1% both each one, learning and development 4.2%, and then reorganization 2.4%. We are business consultants based in Pakistan. If you need to accelerate your organizational performance and transform your company to meet the upcoming business challenges for a better tomorrow, please contact us for a turnaround. You can find us at rabbaniresearch.net. Trust Rabbani for quality competence. Thank you so much.